Easy talk to the horse for good luck. For recent runs, I'm not sure how lucky he's been. I might just stop stop asking the horse to bless this game. Maybe I'll just start kissing a sheep instead. Might be better luck. Also backwards, so it's harder to justify that. If I can get it with the single water pillar, I'll usually do it, but these might be close enough. I should have just run. I'll take about 20 seconds out of it. Unfortunate. Kind of the worst place to get these guys. I definitely don't like that I don't like that root itself as a mechanic exists in this game, but that it's in so many of the early zones. And then it's like as soon as you get escape, it's like the enemies forget how to use it. They have it in Blue Cave, but it's not like... It doesn't... As far as I remember, that's the last time you see it. And it's like one of the moves they can use. You're not gonna get like a pack where it's like only guys that can root you. The crawlers, I guess, but it's nothing like the area right after Solving. The one right after Solving, I think, is my least favorite zone just about in any game. If I played on console, I probably wouldn't bug me as much. But with the frame rate that you get on that fight in particular for emulator is pretty damning. You might get rooted and you're just gonna be there for a full minute. So you might have had a pretty great solving. And it just didn't really matter that much. Now on the same side, statistically speaking, you're probably gonna get rid of at least once. But if you don't, and you had a bad solve ring, it kind of makes up for it. So it's kind of weird how the game sort of evens itself out there. I took 3 fights earlier. I don't want to take that slime there. Especially since the new route I'm taking is uses these wings. Well, sorry, keeps the wings. Might not necessarily use them. But Zealous has been trolling pretty bad lately, so I do want to get these. Keeping the wings, it's not... I don't know, it's sort of like insurance and blackjack. It's 20 seconds to keep these, but if Zealous is pretty mean to you, you have some recourse. It's not like you... I mean, if Zealous goes well, if he goes really well, you don't use any items. If he goes realistically well, like you use your mint leaves and maybe the dewdrop from the end of Sulfuring. Or the end of Connor Forest, sorry. Maybe a bread or two. So not that much. If Zealous goes very badly, you might even have to start dipping into a healing potion or something, which isn't something you want to do at all. But it's possible, because you're not actually guaranteed to kill any bosses in this game. There's definitely one thing that sets this game apart from other games you can run. If I don't take a fight here, I can get kind of screwed in Connor Forest. So, even though ideally you don't actually like try and force a fight out of your way like this, then you know, run in a circle. But what can happen is if you don't get bats or something, or like in my case, getting a single frog is like the worst thing imaginable. So I like to go in there with 10 water. I have to be pretty close since I just killed a 3 slime pack without any levels. Obviously not like fresh 10, but this will be a little bit beyond barely cutting into 10. That's okay. I try to enter the woods no later than 10 minutes, but really that's just sort of my go time. And honestly, for cutting the wings being a 20-second duration, and a lot of my standards are based without the wings, this is kind of on track. Best thing that can happen now is we start getting bats. Realistically, we're gonna get a lot of these star foxes and slippies. So. Didn't zigzag properly, so he took an extra stepping turn. I don't think I can one turn. No, so I need to zigzag. If you... How many... That's okay. So if you're like trying to get away from something, and you like... you just sort of go to the outside boundary and just like wait it out. There's an okay chance that you've actually forced the enemy to do an extra turn, or an extra walking animation. The way the enemies move in this game, it's not like they just have a set distance that they want to go, which like might be the case. This is pretty lucky. But it's more that how many of their walking animations are they going to be using. So if you put yourself in a weird spot, not too weird. So if you're you're a little bit outside of that range, they might use up extra turns, like they might use extra walking animations that they would normally have not used. So ideally you sort of get as far towards the edge as you can, guaranteeing you can get out next turn, and still reduce the amount of turns they have to take. And as I said that, I barely did not clip this, so I get an extra point. Sort of a late hut. This is looking like a pretty slow solving. Although we did have a backpack, so we can be pretty picky about the next fight we take. I think we only need one more fight, as long as it's not like 2 mannequins or something. If we take a flower with a bat, later that'll do it. I think 3 bats will do it. This should... this is... I'm just gonna skip this. Behind us, I don't think it'll cut it in, because I haven't been counting experience. And with both of those mobs, if you start missing them, they hit you for about 8. So then you just have to start healing stuff. It's in front of me, we'll just do it. I don't think that's gonna get there. Okay. I have about a minute to get to solving. Of course it's a frog. But it's a 1-turn frog, that's okay. Sometimes I'll have all of the levels I need walking here, and I'll get a backpack. Sometimes I'll take it because the bell is just so valuable. Because it doesn't get you out of freeze, but I don't know, pretty much it reduces, not removes it, it reduces the chance that you'll get frozen and it'll start getting reapplied. Because the guys can't infinite you. You can just get stuck in freeze, and then you're kind of... that's sort of your run. Not likely, but it happened. The perfect... I don't even know what the zone is called, the one right after this. It just makes me angry. I think it makes me too angry to look up the name. One benefit of this is that it makes solving a little more straightforward. Like, you're not as... I mean, it's slower, obviously. Like you get here, but you have to sort of hit him at range for like 12 or 13 at a time. Every other time, because it always misses. What's the name? I think it's 37. Sure. He'll hit me because it's... no. 9. Yeah, we'll just start going for it. 82. Not a bad solving, considering we kept the wings, so without wings that's about a 17, 15, which is actually a great solving. We'll see. Doesn't, again, the success of solving is entirely predicated on how told you get in the next area. On the way to Zelst there, if you count the second one twice. Okay, this area, Glencoe, this area again. The area in Lara Pool, area before near Lara Pool, the cave, and then the forest. So six trash areas. So this area trolls you pretty directly, like you kind of know why this is bad. Aside from that, you can get pulls on the way to the spirit. But you get told in Coal Hazard a little less obviously. Notably, because of this mob called a Scarecrow. First fight, my roots. How is that? Whatever. First scare moment of this zone is over. When you go to get that spirit on the ledge, I'm getting very few death huggers, which is odd. Not going to complain about it, but usually like every pack has them. Just get a pack of like 5, which is why the bell is so nice. Because if one roots you, you can just sort of prevent that from happening, at least for a few turns. These are usually 2-turn fights, so if the first one doesn't root you, you're probably okay. There are a couple annoyances on the way to Zelst that are just a byproduct of how the battle system works with it being on the world map. Like, among the many problems with getting a forward spawn, like these guys where they're just in your path and you have to backtrack, one of them is that when Brian stops running, he slides a little bit, so a lot of the times, like, you'll go to escape, and then your movement border, like, the line is like parallel to the boundary, and sometimes you can escape it, and sometimes you can't. Well, not parallel, it's pretty much always parallel, but it's like sitting on top of it, and you can't escape because when the fight started, Brian slid a little further than he was supposed to be. If he didn't slide, you would be able to escape, but he did, so you can't. Whereas if it's in the same coin, if it's behind you, then you went a little further than you should be. So aside from the Scarecrows and Coal Hazard just sort of taking a while to take their move, if you get a bunch of forward spawns, then they do take that same amount of enormous time to do their stuff, but then you're also having to deal with that. So there, I moved a little bit closer to the one on the right, so he wouldn't like do his little mummy crip walk up. should be a 1 turn. Yeah, worst case scenario is getting this by about 23. So not terrible. That area is still, yeah, it's just the first time we have to do that area. We have to still walk through it and finish it and get to the boat. The mobs in here aren't too trolly. The closest you get is the plants. And I should have honestly healed before I did this. This one might hit me, but I won't die to this. If there's 2, it's not as bad. If it's a 1 and it's a close spawn, you might be in trouble. Shouldn't have healed 4-4. These guys do such a weird amount of damage that sometimes that's kind of the game changer. Should be a 1 turn. No. I might have been able to get that. Sometimes it feels like if I'm in the amount of time it would take me to sort of walk up and down the line, I should just give the guy an extra turn and just get it for sure in the next one. The tree will have to go this turn. I'll just let him do that. The tree's walking animation is so slow, it's like I almost don't mind giving the mummy an extra turn just so that the tree doesn't do that the entire time. I have to let the mummy walk a little bit. I am annoyed that I got this one right after leaving the last one. And that's another forward spawn. Should be 1 turn, yeah. I do try to run, like, beeline it for the house here, so that I don't get encounters making that spirit up. Because if you run straight for the spirit, you can get kind of screwed. And I still clearly got one, but it feels worse going directly for it. Yeah, pretty much the sole purpose of getting this flute is so that you can, as soon as you see the right pack you need to kill in Coal Hazard, you can just kill it. If you don't get this here, or if you get frozen on the way there, it's sort of this miniature get out of jail free card. The downside being you have to either fight the pack raw, or wait for the flute that you get in Coal Hazard and fight him with that. Downside of that being, if you do that, you have to wait for a 4-pack on the very end of it, which you aren't guaranteed to get. So you might just spend a bunch of time sort of running back and forth, trying to get a 4-pack, or delaying that and trying to fight spiders in front of Zeus, which you're also not guaranteed to get. So much. Playing through casually as a kid, I actually like never found that log. Like I would see on the map that there's supposed to be a forest over there, but it looked like it was just sort of a cliff. Like when I got over there, it didn't occur to me that there was a walkway. Rear spawns. This should be a 2-turn if I don't get rooted. I don't like healing on the world map. I mean, obviously you're always on the world map. I don't like healing in areas where you might get encounters. Something like it just feels like I'm giving the game more time to give me a trash pack. get a pack. Okay, this isn't so good. So you can get a pack here that will. I don't remember being cornered here, but I feel like it's happened. It's definitely not as common as the 2 in call. The 2 in call hazard are honestly so bad. I actually can't believe you can get encounters there. And I want to not believe it, but I'm also very familiar with the game that's being played. So we're done with Death Huggers. Back to Slippy's though. There we go. 2 turns, Slippy. I don't remember which one goes first. I think it's the left one. Yeah. You should just move there. Just move once. And I should. Okay. This bend is sort of deceptive. For this entire area, I'm trying to basically run in the middle, just because you can get kind of screwed by walls. If you get a fight and they spawn and you're like, they're making a line between that's perpendicular with the wall and running through you, then you get kind of screwed. That wasn't so bad, considering how much crappy luck we had in Glencoe. This boat's okay. A couple areas in the game where there's like a spirit, like a little bit higher or behind a post or something or a wall. You can touch it through there. What I would really like is if you could do that for 2 on this part of the map. Not, so you have to walk up both of these things. But you can dream. There is one mob here that can freeze. It's really rare, but knowing how rare it is, like, I also feel like I get it a lot. I also feel like I get a lot of these 2 turns. Need to heal. Two-turn rabbits? Ooh. 3-turn rabbits. Counter rate's pretty high right now. I'm sure there's some cute way to, I don't know, resolve that, but I don't know. Pretty late lower pool, which is really rough time on here. I think this is West Carmel, if I recall correctly. You can use the wings to go back to Downder now and pick up the stuff, but I don't know, I don't really like that. I guess it would give you an extra spirit for Zell, just a little bit more avalanche damage for Zell, but it's also 2 minutes, so I try to only do that if Zealous is bad. If Zealous goes well, we don't really use anything on him. and I'll kind of hang on to it. That way if like Nepti goes badly or something, or Shelf can go famously bad. Shelf is sort of the brick wall of this particular strat. Everyone else you can kind of work your way around. I mean, everyone's melee attack will two-shot you except for Fargo. And beigis with a low roll, he won't do it, but Shelf will always do it. And unlike Nepti, there isn't really a way to manipulate her into using a range attack, and a range attack is actually pretty dangerous. Probably could have slid this. That's fast enough, it doesn't really matter. That's the freeze one. This is at least a 2-turn. Alright, 2-turn. So we won't enter Cull Hazard under 34, which is always the goal. But not too late either. We had very few pulls on the way here. Unlike the first time dealing with the area. But 2/3 of the way to Zels. In time and trash. Zels has been trolling a lot lately too. Might just be the world telling me to pause this game for a while. Close spawn bats kind of suck. Like, this is very close. Not sure how that didn't 2-turn, but here we are. Really bad first ledge. I think one of the biggest issues with this route, it isn't localized just to the no defense route that I'm doing, but just the route in general is that there's this we're mixing this transitionary period where we start with water and then we're building up earth, but we're doing this also at a time where we don't have escape. So it almost feels like there has to be some sort of strat we can be using that will get us avalanche in time to do Nepti, but because realistically you would want Earth Shield too, because she is, of everyone's melee logic, I think hers makes the least sense to me. She will just walk up on you. But people have been playing this game for a while now, and they don't get escape for a reason, so. Really, because you'd have to get like so many extra levels here. Oh, this is a 4-pack, I didn't see it. Okay, yeah, we'll fight this. I think this is... no. That was close. This Scarecrow pack's not actually... It's like as bad and not as bad at the same time. Because the second one's never going to be in range. Because the way the slimes end up being. He won't actually cast. This guy will, but... Yeah, the time following the fight you have to take, at least in my case, always feels like I have like no health left afterwards. It's partly because of what I do, the fight itself is a little bit safer. But as a result, I end up with... I spend the turns walking up to it and getting hit. Which realistically, I should just be using Earth Shield. I mean, Spirit Armor for. But I always like forget to use it. Because I'll usually get here with 17 water. Which, no, I guess that's fine. Because if I used Spirit Armor, and I did get bad luck with misses, I'm assuming he's out of range still. I'd have a very bad time if he wasn't out of range. Okay. Yeah, if you Spirit Armor to get there, then all your stuff misses, you're in a really tight spot. You can get cornered on this ledge, but I feel like this is like a really rare one for that to happen. The other two ones are much more famous. Looks like a one turn. Could be a rare again. Even though I don't need that much defense, the more you, like, even with Spirit Armor, Zealous can still kill you. If he gets a roll in like the low mid 40s, like if he hits you for 43, right, and you Spirit Armor to it and try to eat another one, if he gets that a similar roll and hits you for like 33, you'll just die. So I do try to get hit by the blood gels, as much as I can, but really just being vigilant and accepting that, okay, Zealous just hit me for 40 something. I can't just like armor it. I have to use one of the breads, which is also why we don't skip the breads in Norman. Because even if we don't use those for Zealous, they're fresh bread's actually pretty sweet for a guilty. I like them all. I like having them. Because there end up being like annoying times during guilty where, like, you know what, I kind of want to just like, heal to get back into safety range. But you know, you don't want to use the mana for that. His range attack does, I think the averages that around 50. So it's kind of nice because you can just, after you get the confusion mana, a shield and then bread, and then you've basically gone back to normal. This is the first, I guess technically second, but really the first scary corner of the game. There are 4 of these in total. Okay, one down. The bright side of these scarecrows is that it's never just a scarecrow. That would be a pretty dangerous mob. They always have somebody with them. Also not sure how high their wind has to be for their cutter to be hitting you for 10, but... This is the bad one. More... Okay. Oh, okay. We'll get to the vines kind of late. I haven't been super excited about the packs we've gotten so far. Yeah, like, cause stuff like this. The amount of front spawn scarecrows has been very high. It's like, I mean, each of their turns take like, 5 seconds just to move, and 4 to go, and then they all hit you, so you're spending time healing afterwards. Like, the community knows that getting a bunch of Rockies in like Fargo's area is pretty bad, but the scarecrows are kind of the sleeper cell. Time vacuum, I think. And also just literally getting every bull in front of you, so fortunate. Every bull. Every... This is a close one too. Get after this. I could have slid that, but I do need defense, so I don't. This should put me at 74. Yeah. They're about 90 seconds behind where I want to be here. The boat wasn't bad. I got to the cave at an okay time. Just the spawns are just kind of unfortunate. I should be at 75 by the time I leave, just with the packs coming up. It's an okay amount to have. And the ants in the forest probably, they don't normally put me at 76, but possible. I could have slid. What's annoying about this one in particular, like, with the bat pole you get when you enter this area, like, the boundary is usually, like, right there. But with that one, like, you're almost always guaranteed to get that very first pack. But the boundary is, like, way back in the green area. There's not really much stopping you from just getting it again when you go back, which is kind of annoying. Oh, I didn't get to 75. I should have gotten close to that ant. But I could slide into it. Oh, that's okay. Honestly, a Lamia would push me into 75. You can do a 74. But again, you need to get low rolls. Orca's the absolute worst thing we can see. But he's kind of far away, so not that big of a deal. Orc wouldn't be a big deal if he obeyed like any rules. But he like walks up to what is very clearly the edge of his movement space and then just leaps onto a different planet where you happen to be existing with your family. Just sits on all of you. 40 damage. Where is it? Just heal, just in case I do get that stupid orc. I usually get Lamias around this corner. Spiders. This is like the pull where like if you don't get any blood gels or something you can take this, but you might as well go I might as well go buy a lottery ticket. I like never see that back. Alright, the first gatekeeper. That is very rare that he walks up into melee from first turn. Three misses, okay. Alright, 3 hits. Okay. So I do have to heal that. Gets 5. It's getting my mana's worth. And I also hit the small rock. He should be dead here soon. Okay. So I would consider that Zel's going badly, so what we're gonna do now is get the wings, get the poverty mint leaves, then take a rather long trip to Dondurn just to be safe. So we did use all of our small breads, but we only used the 1 mint leaves. So it could have been worse. I think it's faster to go this way. You don't normally, if you're gonna come to Dondurn, you don't normally get these, but my luck is honestly just so famously bad that I just, at this point I'd rather be safe. I also get to say hi to Fiora. Or Flora? I'll just say hi to her just in case. Also sort of annoying that there isn't really a fast way out of a castle. You have to just walk to the, literally walk to the front door and just leave. You also don't normally get this stuff, but again, Zelf didn't really go how he wanted. Although he's dead, so we get to write history, as it were. But yeah, the dewdrops aren't super. They don't really do much for you, but that replica is for Rockies, although it'd be... Honestly, if we did... No. So the annoyance with, like, the cash that you're supposed to get after doing, you know, solvering is that there's not really a great way to sort of get it. Because you're not next to a town. Having that replica would be super nice. So that if we did get frozen in a 4 frame per second fight, it wouldn't screw us nearly as badly. But unfortunately. I did skip the spirit. You can get an extra spirit there. It honestly doesn't take that long to get. I'm kind of... I usually regret not picking it up. Well, not regret, because I don't take this route that often, but thinking about it now, kinda just wish I'd picked it up. I mean, I already blew easily 2.5 minutes to pick those items up. There was a fair bit. It's 9, so doing Dondurn like that gives you 9 items. 5 of them are mana items. Granted, 2 of them are dewdrops, so it's not like... I mean, yeah, the dewdrops you don't really care about, but... Yeah, they're sort of a nicer... Not a nicer, they're just another sort of insurance policy. Resources in this game are sort of like, I don't know, almost kind of capitalist, where you kind of you can get health as long as you have mana, and you can get mana as long as you have health. But if you don't have either, you can't get either. So it's possible that you'll get into some sort of like awkward low health situation, and you can't like, get yourself out of it because your last 3 mana spent on confusion missed, right? So I don't mind picking up few drops, just to sort of curb that unfortunate possibility. I'm also gonna take 2 extra dead ends here, which people don't normally do, but I have had famously bad luck, and at this point I just want to finish the dang game. So we're going to take them. I also see people get healed 2 here. I honestly don't get healed 2 before coming in here. It's because I don't know, you heal a lot here, and I can't get the input down fast enough. So it honestly just feels like whenever I try to do heal 2, I'm almost like wasting my time. Don't like when these guys go. They're so close. See there, like, you know, root hits you, but we have escape, so it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter as much. If the other guy went again, that would kind of suck. So no one picks us up. One of the good mana items. And I like having it, so I'm trying to pick it up. You can get cornered here, but it's not as bad as the ones in Cull Hazard, because, you know, you have escape. So to me it feels kind of worth it. I mean, items are just so pivotal in this game. So Dondaran did set us a fair bit back. I usually like to be on the walkway at least by about a minute, at least by about the hour mark. They're a little bit behind. I'm surprised he didn't use his melee. I should have slipped it. That's another thing I'm like really bad at judging, is when I should just sort of accept that I'll probably not hit escape, but I'm right on the cusp of a 2-turn, and just so don't cast escape, but you know, just sort of slide into 2-turn range. Because obviously if you actually cast escape, then you can't slide, so. See, the other one was, like, way closer than this guy. He didn't do that. I also didn't cast escape. So. Yeah, the first part's over, so. Sorry. Mimics are not Rockies, but they are. They don't feel too far off. And for the long trip to Dondaran, in addition to keeping the wings and then taking the dead end for the hero's drink, this isn't too bad. The Nepti split will inevitably be pretty far behind, just from all of the detours we took. The very last detour up here, which I'm on the fence about. kind of don't want to do it, but yeah, I'll just skip it. I don't feel like doing that one. There's a hero's drink and a dewdrop back there, but it's kind of far, and it's basically just to get the hero's drink. So I'm having a hard time justifying that. So when I eventually need a dewdrop or a healing potion, then I will just accept that I've gotten one and be sad about it. Because from the regular route, I've already added 10 items, right? With a bunch of them being mana items, so this is not the poorest Brian that the world has ever seen. I'm sure someone's actually calculated how many elements the mobs have. I imagine it's not too bad to they have all the formulas and everything. You know how much damage like Ice Knight. So for fights, I usually try to, no matter what I'm actually trying to do in the fight, try to be on whatever the furthest edge I can be on the movement, just to try to squeeze out just a little bit more agility. Because missing in this game is one of the most interactive mechanics anyone's ever developed. There's a lot you can really do if all of your spells decide to miss. So to try and curb that, I feel like what the runners have to just do is, you know, just milk it. If you're always just only moving a little bit, whether it's to escape or whatever, then you're not. I don't know. I feel like you don't have a whole lot of room to complain when misses do happen. Admittedly, it's not like that much. And even though I do it, I still get, I think I had 3 or 4 misses in a row on solving this run. So, you know, you can still get the short end, but just something to help against that particular mechanic. I'll probably leave here around 111. Probably pull an empty 113, 114. So we'll see how much I regret visiting Flora. Yeah, The cul-de-sac for the hero's drink, it didn't end up being that bad. I think it was 30-40 seconds for a mana full heal. And with honestly with how dangerous Shelf is, I really don't mind going out of my way for mana items before her. She will very much just reset your run. But this guy's I've been experimenting if it's almost worth it to just walk into them because they don't have a melee attack, right? So I'll just try it this time. Just like walking in and then escaping rather than like running out. And I guess I get hit a bunch, but they don't do that much damage. And they attack instantly. So it's not like you're waiting for this freaking scarecrow to use like the melee version of Windcutter he has. Which might sound weird to point out, but like I swear they gave him 2 versions of Windcutter. Windcutter level 3, and one's his melee attack and one's his range attack. Because he will just be at like a very safe distance from you and have no problem casting it, and then he'll just cast it again. But if he's like within a certain range, he'll just walk up to you and do it. It's like he thinks that like he's also supposed to use as a melee attack with different conditions. I also didn't realize that everything outside of Epona's house is considered Blue Cave. If you leave the house and exit, it takes you back to the door. Like, you can walk anywhere in Blue Cave after you leave that house, and it'll take you back to the door if you use exit. We will likely lose time. Be nice if we didn't, but likely will. So 2 ants, I should honestly just run into them. But I might get a bunch of misses and they actually take about 30. If I get a bunch of these guys and then I take a fish stick or something, you might just be in trouble. For whatever reason, fish stick hits for like 45, so that's no good. The 2 turn. 38. So assuming we kill Nepti in a minute, we can make up time. Nepti is also a very famous troll. Her little tiny body. It's hard to hit. Definitely not the guilty or Mammon kind of enemy. Beigis is also... Like, you would think Beigis is kind of small, this little hunched over old guy, but... Okay. See that? Like, I didn't even approach her, and sometimes she'll use the, bubbles, and sometimes she'll just walk up to you. 3. That's very good start to this. Five, six. I will use a mana item here, just because I am kind of rich. Debating if I want to try it. I will use one of those breads. Seven, eight, nine? I think she just needs one more hit. Okay. So even with the safety stuff, we're still a little bit ahead on time. So the splits up here are the world record guys, Kurt Q. These are not my times. My actual splits are faster, but you know, I don't know. It's hard to. I don't want to go into it. Ideally, we get the yellow balls here, but that would surely hit more than just the one guy, but why not? So what did we use for her? We used mint leaves and a dewdrop, which mint leaves, dewdrop, and a bread, which again are all items that we got from the Dondrin trip. So as far as the core items that we normally get and rely on to beat the game, we didn't use any of those. And we were still only 5 seconds behind just because of a completely fluke empty kill. So, but yeah, this split we won't beat. Kirk got an absolutely insane one cycle Chilf, so that's that. I think the only way you're gonna beat that is if you either get the same one cycle, or you do some really wacky thing like you shield and then run up, and then on your second shield turn, on your second turn you like weakness 2 her, and then because that'll make it your rocks hit it for about 200. Then if you get like a big avalanche, or like she hits it 5 times, like I don't know how to beat this split. I did watch his side by side with mine for this area, and it is kind of, it's sort of this like kind of interesting math problem because we got very different encounters, but we arrived at her at about like within like 5 seconds of each other. He, again, he like hit a one cycle and mine was much longer, so there was a 3-minute differential. But as far as trash, like I thought I had really bad trash on the way to her, and he had good trash, but it didn't seem to matter that much. Because like for me, bad trash just means anything I get here, because this is one of the bad emulator zones, so. So I've also been tinkering with the idea of going to Limeland if Nebdi goes badly, but I don't think she went badly enough to justify Limeland. You get Hero's Drink, Mint Leaves, I think that's it. And a bunch of Hero's Drink, honey bread, and Mint Leaves, I think. But I honestly don't remember where the wings person is for Limeland. So it's like hard for me to justify going in there and looking for them. I also think the game knows how much I dislike scarecrow pulls, and so it stuck them in this area too. There's also a bunch of spirits in Limeland. I think just sitting around there are either 4 or 5. But like by the time we get to Shelf, you know, we'll have either 48 or 49, or so. You know, like getting the 4 spirits doesn't really matter. We could just go in there and get the items and leave. But the pulls on this part of the overworld are so slow for me that it's hard for me to justify it. Like that one's very fast because it's just one guy, but like when you get like there's a 6 blood gel pack. Is this it? No, this is just 4. Okay. Well, given how slow this is, you can imagine how much fun the 6 pack is. One turn. Yeah, with those and like caterpillars, and they all use these ultra long homing arrow 2 attacks. So Limeland is really hard for me to work into the time budget. Get up. Oh my god. I also just get so scared that I'm gonna accidentally assign it to water or something. Because this amount of earth that we get is like just enough to put Shelf into the 7 hit range instead of 8. With weakness, if you decide to waste your turns hitting her with weakness 2, with this amount of earth she takes about 200 per rock. So you could 5 hit her. And so if you weaknessed and then, because you don't even really have to shield her first attack. So you could slide into range, or slide into her DMs, I guess. Weakness 2, and then get a really good avalanche and just kill her. So whatever true American wants to take that on their run, you know, go for it. It will not be me. This area does have one of the only 2 trash mobs I'm genuinely scared of. Really just the most important trash mob. Yeah, so Deathhuggers are scary for a different reason. Deathhuggers might just freeze you and you're sort of there for the better part of a minute or longer because they can reapply it. The fire guys here are dangerous because they can just kind of screw you. If it's more than 1 fire guy, it doesn't really do anything. Like, they'll be out of range by the time the second one gets their turn. But if it's just 1, he can definitely kill you. So we will be healing as much as we can during this. I have a replica, and I think I still have the flute. So we can get out of 2 of them. And again, if it's a multi-pack, then we shouldn't care. But never know. So we're trying to get as many hits as we can to get to 24 mana before Fargo. We can't really get there before Shelf. It would be nice, but we can't. And for Shelf, it honestly doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, so this is the scary pack. we slid far enough away. I have gotten those guys, and in my rush to turn the camera, like, ran into the second guy's hit. And that was, that felt really good to lose a run for that. But yeah, so, you know, for the cycle, you know, it's the same kind of, assuming nothing misses, you know, shield, avalanche, you know, shield, and at some point you use confusion or use a main item. When you get to 24, you have, you know, 4 sets of 8, 4 sets of 6. So you have a little more, this is actually, this is a sort of a close spot. I'm just going to use the replica. Didn't want to risk that. If you have a bread, you can do that too, but yeah, so like, so instead of doing the, where you're, you know, ideally if nothing misses, your last 3 mana is spent on confusion, then you get hit and survive it and get mana again, and then you use shield and life goes on. So rather than using confusion, we have an odd number, you know, like, you know, we have 7 spells we can cast. Where are you? Oh, you're okay. I shouldn't have you. You just use a mana item when you're at 0 mana. So it's not as bad. And like, I've already accepted that I have to use items on shelf, particularly mana items. Because this, again, with this much defense, you can survive it with, if you use Spirit Armor and the first laser hits you, and you, in one of, either the first one or the second one, preferably if the second one's a lower roll, then you can survive it with this much defense, but it's still sort of out of your control, right? Another awkward thing with shelf with this much health is that you kind of can't start shielding at 3. Because if you miss shield at 3 and your shield expires when you go to reapply it, then suddenly you don't have enough mana. So you have to either heal or use a mana item. So you're stuck between deciding if you want to just like drain all of your items hoping she misses one of the lasers, or whatever whatever your plan is, because you absolutely cannot make it out of that otherwise. That was an unfortunate lesson to have to learn. But now we know. This is also kind of close. I might just flip it. I'm just gonna. Actually, that one missed. So. So I didn't cancel that animation. Okay, so far the wisps haven't been that bad. We only got the 1 single pack, and it was right on the edge. It was a 1 turn. And he didn't even hit, so I didn't have to heal it. Which of course means Shelf will just be... she'll definitely be behaving. Definitely won't just miss 2 shields walking up to her and die. If you get a wisp with a ghost, it's okay, because they're faster than the wisps, so they don't get a turn. I mean, they get a turn, but it's not like... They're not gonna do anything interesting with it, because you're probably already out of their range. So we'll get there. We have a little bit of time to play with. I get pretty good luck with the trash here. The Discord said to just run perpendicular to that. I swear there's something else, because Kirk never gets hit by both of those hits. Like, I don't know if he just has some different thing going on in his brain, or if maybe people don't understand how awkward that attack can be, but maybe he just got a really lucky set of spawns, I don't know. But he never got the second hit of that. I don't know it was that. So if Shelf goes well, we'll be in a pretty good spot. These have been pretty good splits. I don't think I used my shoes yet either. I don't know. I talked myself into trying weakness down 3 mana. That's okay. Alright, 1. I shouldn't have done that. If this... Yeah, I have to do that here. We did get next turn out of it, so... That's pretty good. We're at 2, I think. Still 2. We'll use the other control. This is why we used the mana item there. She missed. That never happens. 5, 6, so just 1 more. Getting pretty lucky with freebies though. I kinda just wanna go for it. I'm kinda already behind. Alright. Okay, so we used the second mint leaves and the dewdrops from Dondrin. So honestly, those dewdrops are the stuff from Dondrin is like really paying off here. Yeah, we are a minute behind Kirk's split, so not ideal. But we also didn't die to Shelf, so that's okay. That's a very big possibility. The cats. The trash here is like kinda dangerous. I never remember where to go here, I just try to look for the tree. These guys are pretty dangerous. When they aren't missing. Everything here does about 30 damage a hit. These guys usually just come up and try to silence, so that's okay. should be the last Catwoman pack, I think. Now it should just be these guys, fish, and the butterflies. I really don't like... I'll just heal it. I don't think that guy's even in range. I don't really mess around with fire spells in this game. We will get an extra replica here to replace the one we used in Holy Wisp territory. That's a big pack, I'll just use this. We want to get to 24 mana before Fargo. Again, it's not bad. There are a lot of like really dense packs in the next area. Fargo himself is sort of a joke. But again, he's an enemy in Quest 64, so he can troll you too. I probably should have just walked forward them. They attack really quickly. And they're always in big packs. I think I'm close enough to the wall. Yeah. This would be another good one too. That's okay. If I recall, I think I did use my flute on one of the Will-O-Wisp packs. This is a really bad place to get a fight. If he does... Okay. I'm really surprised you can even take one there. But whatever. Alright, there are 3 main sections of this place, and the rest are just tunnels that look identical. This with blue, like people talk about getting like mixed up in Blue Cave. I honestly think this is such a better candidate for Vertigo 64. The one sort of, I guess, helper marker you have isn't even intentional. But sometimes the camera will like clip outside of the map, and you'll either see like this lava, or you'll see the little like volcano plume in Fargo's room. Okay, I am going there. Just keep getting mana. These fights are like so fast that I don't mind not escaping there. These, however, okay, this is a 1 turn. He's stuck on a fish. I thought this was going to be a 2-turn. I don't think the rock would be if he even used it. I didn't judge that very well. Okay, I really do not play around with fire mobs. Probably a 2-turn. They do. I think they can high roll around 60. I don't know. Each of the zones, they're like, I end up with just like a weird amount of health. Or I get like kind of nervous if something's gonna get lucky rolls. And you couldn't hear or very clearly see, I wasn't kidding about being bad at healing too. I almost wish it wasn't in the game. Just so that people who were good at it didn't have a very clear advantage over their inputs against me. Yeah, so if this guy gets a high roll and a rock, I'll just... I don't think it can roll 67. 61. Kind of close. You can get the lions here. They're pretty... yeah, there you go. They're kind of slow. They don't move, which is like... They're such like a weird... a really weird enemy. You'd expect this sort of like... I don't know, a graceful cat or something, and it's just sort of sitting there lazily. As I say that, I'm looking at a cat who's been pathed on this bed the entire day. The secret is to put the cat bed at an elevated position next to your desk, so that really you guys are hanging out. It's not that this is just an apathetic cat who doesn't care about you and is sleeping on wherever you told it to. We're definitely bonding. I'm just gonna stop using 2. I'm not... My thumb isn't cut out for healing level 2. Feels like a 1 turn, yeah, okay. So this is our, I think our 3rd or 4th Rocky, and they've all been pretty good. Haven't had to use the replica yet. And we'll get another replica in here. Also 1 turn. Okay, yeah, these are good Rockies. Minus how long they take because they're Rockies. I think I could have escaped that. I thought I saw the boundary go outside. Whatever. One more interior part of this place, and we're out of here. This... debating how I want to leave this. I think I'm gonna try to do the melee strat. Okay. So if he's like pretty much next to you, his turns are really fast. You have to decide, kind of, well, do I want to go to max range and then try escaping, in which case he like runs after you and tries to throw his big stupid rock at you, or run into melee range where you'll take damage, but not necessarily take damage, but good chance he uses rock shell. Granted, there are places you can stand where he'll walk up a little bit and throw the big rock, and you can just run under him. But Arky, that's okay. I like that there are different ways of handling him, and the threat isn't even like how much damage he does, it's just that he's so slow. Should be about at 24. I don't do that. I think I see from the clip that this bends around one more time. Oh, they're in front of me. I should have. Why didn't I escape? I forgot how escape could miss. I'm glad it didn't. So there's a spirit and a healing item here. I don't think I want either. I think I am gonna skip them. Because I haven't actually used healing items yet. Like outside of elsewhere I used them. No, I used one bread on Epi. I guess I have used some healing items, but I not get this guy. I do like that he only spawns like in a conga line with fish, so he can never actually get to you. I don't know. Yeah, like this. Like I don't know if they just didn't like what the deal is with this pack, but they're just kind of bizarre. I'm not complaining. Giant's shoes are the first item up here. Which I don't think I used the ones from Solver. I don't normally use those. So we'll just take the replica. I think this is a one turn. No. I should have. I don't know why I didn't escape. I was so terrified of it, like, the Rocky hit for 61 last time, which is still like 10 under what he had to do to kill me. It was just, just like, I don't know, it put too much fear into me. And it gives me an excuse to heal for hopefully getting 24 mana. Next pack. Let me 24. Okay, there we go. Coming up on Solvering. This cave is still pretty long, so I don't think I'm gonna save too much here. Although I had pretty good luck with Rockies, though. And I did get 24 before the... And so I can start escaping. I've had a couple where, like, I'm like relying on the avalanche hits on Fargo himself to push me into the 24 range. I don't want to do this. I'm actually so mad I'm doing this. He's just gonna silence me anyway. Or miss, okay. So, I'll just be annoyed about that later if I need a bread. I guess looking forward... If I know it's... Oh, I still have a lot of road to go. If I know he's gonna do that, it's like a potential two-turn. I shouldn't even bother escaping. I should just slide out. Okay, so we only save time here if we somehow kill him, and I guess Guilty can still go well. We don't need like some miraculous Fargo fight. Yeah, we're gonna lose time overall on this anyway, so it's okay. Yeah, 2, that's pretty okay. 3, 4, 2 misses. More misses. Let's do this really. I think that's in range for him to walk up and do it. Yeah, unfortunate. Extra unfortunate. Extra unfortunate. Okay. I will heal after this, just because that would put me into a one-shot range. Or because now I can miss a few times. Alright, I didn't want to do that, but here we are. Using items on Fargo. I don't think I have any more small breads now, so. I am gonna heal her just to put me into free range attacks. Oh, that does a little more than I thought it did. I'll use items on Fargo. Do any more honey breads? Five. I'm already out here. I didn't want to take their miss chance. Should just be one more. We'll play it safe. Alright. Unfortunate. So because of that, we will do the item house after Fargo. How many was that? I think that was 3 healing items, and I think only 1 mana item though, which is the more important thing. So that could have been worse. We'll get a fair bit of items between Guilty and beigis. Not between them, like, you know, the lead up to both of them. Still kind of annoyed. I think a really simple addition they could have made to this game, just for quality of life, is just showing buff and debuff durations. There's one thing that can kind of screw you over, is if you use Infusion or something, and then like it's like you got a low roll on it or something, like 2 or 3 rounds, and then maybe the enemy just misses, right? So, yeah. I think the bottom one there is the amulet. I don't want that. There's a golden amulet that we are gonna pick up, but I don't want the silver one. pick up the bell and the replica just for really just for pinheads, and the horse is also on the way to Mammon. Particularly the pinheads though. I mean, they get a lot of flack just because they do like 150, but the horses do like 120, right? So that's, and they're much more literally hit or miss. The pinheads, like one of those fireballs might miss you or something, but the pinheads, they will. I mean, the horses, if the one would hit you, you're in trouble. I think on Kirk's run he got to guilty at like 156. So and the shelf wasn't too bad. You know, we were a minute longer on her than we wanted to be, but the Fargo was. It's over 3 minutes added just from Fargo, and I didn't hug the wall here. Yeah, so Fargo was sort of a pain. Nothing really dangerous here except the close spawn Red Knights. And White Knights, I don't know how these guys became the elite guardians of beigis' castle, only knowing Arrow 1, but I look at a lot of resumes and maybe they are just joining the club for people who just inflate everything. I mean, now people will, like, you'll look at a slide deck on Coursera or something and mark yourself as this expert in waterfall, like agile design or something. Or you, like, lead a meeting, like, one time because someone else was sick and you're like, Scrum Master. Like, alright, guys. I don't know that pack well enough yet. It feels safer to shield because the accuracy is higher than escape, and I didn't want to use an item. But yeah. I do the same thing for will-o-wisps. If I don't want to use an item and I do get a close spawn and it's just one of them, I'll just hope shield hits. Alright, let's see how this goes. Starting off strong. Hold two. Six. Seven. Fusioning against my better judgment. OP range attacks. Extra turn, okay. I think that's 8. Nine, 10. I tried to go a little out there in case it missed. We have enough main items that I'm not that worried about a really conservative set of infusions. 11. Twelve, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I'm just gonna use another mana. This will be the third one, so that's okay. Shield missing a while. 22. I will main item here again. But I probably could have gotten away with a dewdrop. I'll save those for Aim and Desperation. 23. It should just... he should be right around the corner. I'll just do it up here. I think he's in. I think he's close enough. don't want to use another full mana item. I'm tempted to just start spamming it. Yeah, he's definitely one hit away. Do we go for it? Yeah. Alright. So not that far off from Kirk's. Well, his split. His time we're still 4 minutes behind. But it was okay. It started off just kind of badly. Not risking escape here. I don't think you're ever at risk with the Red Knights. But, I don't know. You can see from the counter up there that as far as finishing this game, we are over 94. This is the 94th one. So, I'll just take Desperation stats for now. And I'll polish these out when I try to dethrone Kirk a different time. We're gonna pick up most of the items we get along here. Definitely the two in this room. I think we used four mana items on Guilty, and we might have just used the one healing potion. I know I healed at least once, just from the spell. Should be one turn. We should just agility. This is the item. I get most of these. I do see people skip some of this stuff, and I get it. Don't need all of it. Like, I'm absolutely skipping the silver amulet. Like this, I think this is a bell. This is a mana item. Or here, a healing potion. Yeah, mana. In case something stupid happens, like shield misses on the way to beigis or something. This isn't Japanese, so we can't get crit, but bad stuff and still bad. Of course. Another one turn. I don't. Did they just like run to the bottom of the stairs and try to catch him? Alright, so the golden amulet, it's basically a free armor level 2. And no one ever talks to your dad, so I feel like you need some love sometimes. Like, we talk to the horse, right? We can afford to talk to the dad. These are the same two guys from the stairwell. We finally called him. He keeps running away. You can get pulls like on the staircase. Oh, we did have extra bread. It's just at the far left of the... whatever. Yeah, this is kind of an innovative strat. Just say you saw it here first. I have a belief that Avalanche always hits, or usually hits the stuff in the bottom left side of the screen. So for superstition, I try to hold the camera this way for beigis in particular. I'll use a main item here. Beigis can be kind of scary. I don't like playing games with this guy. I think that's 4? Oh, I forgot what turn it was. Oh, he missed too. Okay. Oops. 5. Oh, that's not the right one. This is gonna expire. Oh boy. Okay, that was not good, but we survived a little bit. Also not good. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hope he misses. He didn't, but we did save. This will probably cost me number 2 spot. But by the time I recovered and used the items, I was already kind of annoyed. I thought the run was kind of cursed. The downside is that I have used the giant shoes now. They're also over time. Before we even get there. Now we can walk through this small map of color. Alright, so I will not forget what turn I am on. Not shield. Oh, you're back. You just forgot to use your shield. Yes, I did. Of course. Two. We are gonna try an innovative strategy here. Go back to our budget bread. Okay. So what about 2 and after that rock hit him? Okay, 3. I need to get farther away from this ledge here so they don't keep falling off and taking more time. He should be a good next spot. 5. 6, 7. I'm gonna mana item here and just hope I get an extra turn. I didn't. Oh my goodness. Just yes. So I think we've used... Yeah, we used the amulet and... I want to say 3 mana items? With at least 2 healing items. Maybe this is why no one says hi to your dad. Because you're dead? Okay, we'll say hi to Shannon instead. Maybe Shannon's got more luck than her deadbeat dad. I hope he did get those cigarettes, it's been a while. Although on the bright side, if this ends up on the number 2 spot, then the number 2 person has to deal with everyone getting beaten by someone who died twice. Okay. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. By sliding, maybe I'll be closer to and I can actually like start attacking next turn. Okay, I got an extra round there. But I don't need it. Okay. Alright, now we're good. Alright, 1 with 3 misses. Nice for an extra turn. Okay, we're getting extra turns this time. Am I gonna run out of mana items slowly? Every part of the map except for beigis? Part of the map except for beigis. Alright, I think that's 4. I lost count after the number of misses. How many mana items do I even have left? I have a couple. Okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. Let's turn him again. Okay, Brian's got a lot of action in front of him, so let's just like... We're gonna employ the ultimate camera strat again. Surely it won't mess us up. Alright, they went around him. Okay. Maybe the secret is just to get in the throne, let beigis know that we're taking his spot. Or maybe if we like point out that he shouldn't have the... Are you kidding me? push this a different way. Okay, I think that's either 6 or 7. It doesn't matter. Two more misses. Add them onto the total. Just hit me. Alright, toss the healing item onto this train wreck. Maybe counting is the curse. They literally just circle around them. Move this way. Desperation, spirit armor. Right, toss another healing item onto this train wreck. Unfathomable. Absolutely. Let's just face him. Let's just look at him dead anyway. Okay, right, so that's the secret. Brian can't be a coward when he fights the king. Come for the king, better not miss. Unlike, come for the king, better not miss is maybe the secret catchphrase of this entire game. I still have a couple more mana items. I'll just accept that beigis really needs to die. The entire other side of the screen. Oh, that's the secret. I pull him to that side of the screen and then look at nothing. Yeah, that is a secret. Right, we're gonna do this. You should be getting there. We're gonna do the same budget strat as last time. Although this means confusion's gonna fall off. Oh, okay. I do like his little old man stutter when he gets hit by the stick. Like he wasn't expecting how brash we just walk up and do. Holy smoke. Well, we wanted to I thought Shelf was gonna be the worst thing. And I was pretty sure nothing was gonna beat Fargo. But plus 12 is... that's something. That's more of an accomplishment than anything. This is like where Giorno Giovanna would come and compliment my resolve. It honestly feels like King beigis just shot me in the head with my own my own bullets. Alright, well, let's go die to trash or something. This probably isn't even good enough to get the number 2 spot now. Is that a 1 turn? No. These guys do like throw a rock if they're like extra far away, or like if they're kind of... I don't remember their spacing requirements. I know one of their moves is this like... they like throw a rocket 3 at you, but it's from space. And so like you don't even realize it's actually a spell until it comes down. Because normally they just do Rock Shower, because their name is Judgment, so... I guess Judgment coming from the sky is pretty fitting. how long this area takes to traverse. Mammon's sort of a longish fight. I think if I can get to Mammon by 2:30, I can probably still have a shot at number 2. Third judgment. Yeah, this is wrong. Alright, we learned. We can be taught. Perfect. Okay, well I saved replicas, and I don't need them because this is a one-turn pinhead, but... Okay. I also have bells. I have plenty of Mammon trash supplies in there. At the ready, just in case. These guys, okay. How close am I? Okay, another one turn. This trash has been pretty polite. Like, it's all, like, bad trash, but position of the bad trash has been good. Better to have been born as good trash, or to have overcome your nature as bad trash through positioning. Oh no, this is the... These guys are like the biggest... I don't know, what's the term, I don't know. Not like... I guess gaslighting is like... No, that's completely different. They just remind me of like when SpongeBob like blows up his arms. And it's just... Because they're these huge muscular boys, right? But they only like come up and slap you or like try to silence you, even in like melee range. They do drop healing potion if you're if you ever need one of those. Oh, I really thought I was out of range. If he rocks, I might be in trouble. Okay. Really? I was about to say, you can still get pinheads here, but why am I so close? I guess it isn't the Japanese version. You can't just have all three of those just crit you and die. I think this is the boat one, if I'm not mistaken. I do like how they did this. Where it's all these sort of like, you know, places that you've been before, giving some sort of impression that Mammon is like more connected to the world than he wants to let in, or that this is just these are just Brian's memories. The downside with it being Brian's memories, of course, is that I guess this could be this Brian's memory. No one else actually goes to Flora's room. I don't remember if we did talk to Flora. So we talked to a lot of NPCs. I'm not sure exactly like who cursed us with that beigis. I don't think it was Flora. I think Flora gave us that really nice nifty. So it was either the horse or your dad. I think it was your dad. I think your dad's just a piece of crap. So after this, it's Epona and one more of that little meadow with the bridge. And then we talk to Shannon again. Yeah. Similarly, we are going to take the poverty save. Betas clearly was not playing any games, so... Oh, wrong way. So maybe Mammon will also not be playing any games. The meadow... After this, yeah, after this is Shannon. Yeah, it's another one turn. We haven't had any... It hasn't been a situation where we've even needed to use our anti-pinhead technology. Now, if only I could get an item that would let me cast Heal 2 with my hands, that'd be good. Or touch the door, one of those. Alright, if I recall, number 2 is 236, 10, I think? Maybe 12. So we have about 5 minutes to kill this guy. It'll get challenged because it's an emulator map. We'll see. The tragedy of the emulator is that mine has been bugging out lately, so I could not tell anyone that I was going to be playing this particular game instead of the scheduled Overwatch night. I was very much ready for that to just be a miss and just seal Brian's fate. That was 3. That attack is much faster on emulator though. That is super brutal on console. 11, 12, 3 or 4 misses. 13, a bunch of stuff behind me. I will have to start confusioning here in a bit, but not now. I'd rather skip that because confusioning on this guy can be kind of scary. 14, 15. Pretty bad avalanches, honestly. 17, 18. That did push us into 27 mana, which is a relief. I'll confuse it next time. 28, 24, 25. I think that's just 29. Okay. So we are going to confusion here. Going to hope he uses... It's okay. Actually, no, I'm gonna use healing. Hope he does the glow. Yeah, okay. Use another to compensate. he's pretty close. This cycle should do it. That was only 20 seconds behind Kirk's. Although Kirk's, when I watched it, went pretty badly for him. This was an emulator, so that's okay. We'll have Brian give us a bow. Okay, so what went wrong? The Fargo went pretty wrong. the beigis, oh boy, that beigis. I wish I had, I don't know, I had a lot of healing items at the end. I can probably trim picking a couple of those up. But so other than the ones in the dead ends, like, and all of the dead ends are mana items. So it's like, except the one in Cull Hazard is a bread and a healing potion, but the one in Blue Cave is a mana item, and the one in Cull is a mana item. It was honestly nice having that many items though, because again, like hell, it let us wipe on beigis twice, right? So without the wipes, and that would have been pretty good, but that's not how it worked out.